What's up, everyone? My name is Troy from TechGamesEtc, and this is my movie review of the amazing Spider-Man 2. I rhymed. But unfortunately, this movie was far from amazing. This movie was actually boring. This is one of the worst superhero movies I have seen ever since The Man of Steel. And you know how I felt about The Man of Steel. You know? So anyway, this movie was so boring, I actually fell asleep in the theaters for 15 minutes. The person I went with, my friend, she actually was like, man, you fell asleep. I said, she said, you probably was tired because of a long day. I said, no, this movie was just that boring. What makes Spider-Man, the amazing Spider-Man 2 so boring, it's just drags on and on. It's like we've seen this story with Spider-Man before, with his girlfriend, with his what's his name, his aunt Marianne. Now I may get it wrong. Now if you're looking for any comic book accuracy from me, you won't find it. So if I misname some certain people, some certain characters, I apologize in advance. So all of a sudden, right, the story takes place. Spider-Man, of course, is in full uniform, saving lives, whatever, all right? But outside of his superhero-ness, he still has a girlfriend. He still lives at home with his aunt, whatever. They do go into the story of how his parents did die. They were trying to protect a secret and things like that. But the script was not fun at all. It wasn't fun at all. Even with the villains involved, which was Electro, which was played by Jamie Foxx, even his character was okay, but you've seen Spider-Man before. And when it comes to just the dialogue, I understand Spider-Man is supposed to be like witty a little bit. Like his character is witty, but they tried too hard. It was like it came off as artificial. It just really did. There was no really good parts that would have you jaw-dropping like, oh my gosh, this is like so amazing. Like I prefer Captain America 2 over the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Captain America 2 was really good. It was well scripted. It was the acting wasn't bad. I'm not looking for, like I said in my Man of Steel review, I'm not looking for Academy Award nominated scripts and actors and actresses and production. Like, they just went overboard with it. And like the character who plays Peter Parker now, I'm really not feeling him. I'm really not. This is one of the first movies I've seen with him acting in it. I'm not feeling him at all as an actor. And I'm not trying to take nothing away from his acting at all. It's just whether it was the script, whether it was him, I just wasn't feeling it. And then the only good part, spoiler alert, the only good part about this movie is when Gwen dies, and that was pretty much it. I know I just spoiled it for some, but that was the only good part. When she died, I was like, okay, I'm interested. But the way this movie ended was the biggest fuck you of all time. They treated it like a trilogy. They treated it like Lord of the Rings, where it ended. Like, you know, in the previews where Spider-Man is going up to Rhino, the mechanical Rhino, and he's swinging the top to the sewer, to the sewer thing, the sewer lid, whatever. It ends there. It ends actually there. So do not expect that's a continuation. Like, this is not really good at all. And also, I gotta go on the flip side. There was one part that I noticed that Marvel is doing. They're becoming more grittier with their scripts sometimes. This can be seen in Captain America 2, where people are dying left and right. But it wasn't gritty enough. I'm not looking for the Dark Knight type of gritty, but I wish, like, Spider-Man wasn't so much in a bubble. I know Gwen died in this this movie, but when it came to, like, for example, when Electro gets introduced for the first time, he is in New York. I don't know what part of New York, but he had these, you know, those grates that be on the ground. There was some festival going on, whatever. Not a festival, but there was a crowd of people. Whether it was a festival or not, who cares, right? So Electro gets introduced, And Spider-Man, being Spider-Man, confronts him. And Electro dealt with, before he became Electro, Spider-Man saved him, right? And so he was this loner type of dude before Spider-Man saved him. So Spider-Man meets him again when he's Electro. He was like, Spider-Man, don't you remember me? My name was blah, 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 blah. You saved me. He was like, yeah, I remember you. And so when Electro stepped on the metal parts of the sidewalk, you know how they have the grates covering, whether it's generators, whether it's a subway, whatever. Spider-Man realizes he's, you know, conducting electricity. But Spider-Man realizes there's a crowd of people behind him on the stairs that is, you know, can conduct electricity. So when Electro steps forward and his electricity is going to go to the stairwell, Spider-Man jumps back, right? Jumps back to the stairwell, goes so fast, faster than electricity now, uses his webs to get people's hands off of the railing. Then what he does, he uses his webs to conduct the electricity to the point of impact, and it just dissipates. And I'm looking at this like, that part could have been a lot better. I would have preferred that people died and Electro realizes he can kill people and he's in control and he want to get people attention and things like that. And also dealing with the villains. I know Electro was introduced, but his fight scenes, you've seen it before. It wasn't nothing jaw-dropping. And they still dealing with the Osborns. Harry Osborn's father dies, so he becomes the Green Goblin. The fighting was nothing memorable at all. So please do not waste your time with The Amazing Spider-Man 2. It's not that good at all. They just need to... The same thing I say about Superman, Man of Steel. You have over 70 years of history with Spider-Man. They could have introduced more villains. They could have introduced just something else. It's not good. I'm actually done with the franchise, but I'll watch The Amazing Spider-Man 3 for the sake of a reviewing and saving y'all money. You know what I'm saying? Just keep your pocket. TechGamesEtc is watching for your pockets. Don't waste your time with this. So let me know what y'all think, community. Let me know what y'all think about this movie. Go ahead, leave the comments, and thank you so much for watching. See you later. Thanks a lot.